Meanwhile, in Osun State, Governor Ademola Adeleke has called for visa bans and economic sanctions against leaders of the opposition, stating that they have repeatedly enabled political violence in the state. Adeleke made the comments on Monday while meeting with members of the British government, alleging that certain politicians are enabling violence through their supporters, which has led to killings and attacks across the state. Now, Dr. Abati, you know that the governor's call for sanction comes amid reports of the killing of another Accord Party member, now making it 5 members allegedly killed since the kick-off of his 2026 political season. Now, I mean, I'd like your thoughts on the governor's call for, of course, visa bans and all of that, whether or not it'll make any difference, the weight that it brings, knowing that there are 5 people now that have been killed within his party just ahead of his election.
Okay, quickly. First, all the gladiators in Osun State must realize that this is not just an election in Osun State. It's an election that is also attracting both local and international attention. And that is why they have a responsibility, whoever they may be, stakeholders, either politicians or the security agencies, or even the thugs or the voters themselves, that they have to give peace a chance in order for us to have a smooth, free, fair, and credible process on August 15. And that was why the British High Commission sent a team led by the senior political advisor, Wale Adebajo, to meet with the various, stakeholders in Osun State. Of course, to assess the situation and to also remind everyone that, well, the international community will also be watching this election closely. So what Governor Adeleke said is perfectly in order. And this is not the first time we will hear that. Every election cycle, the international agencies and governments, whether it is US or the UK, they issue a statement ahead of the election that, look, anybody who is found guilty of violating the free will of the people and disrupting the democratic process will be sanctioned. And the basic sanction will be perhaps denial of a visa or the freezing of access of such persons in those foreign jurisdictions. So what Governor Adeleke has done is to reiterate the point and to restate his own commitment to free and fair election and peace, because he said he had told the Inspector General of Police that he should monitor Osun State closely and professionally, and that even if his own son or any of his relatives is involved in any act that will undermine the electoral process, such persons should be sanctioned by the police. Our expectation is that there will be peace in Osun before, during, and after the August 15 gubernatorial elections in that state.
Well said,
and
Doctor.
All troublemakers should be so warned beforehand.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Governor Ademola Adeleke is fired up for next month's election in his state. Addressing a congregation on Sunday, Adeleke declared that he will be singing hallelujah on August 15th while breaking out into one of his signature dance moves. Let's take a look. Adeleke does not disappoint, Dr. Marty. I mean,
he's not Jackson for nothing. He's Jackson Adeleke.
Do you know how he got his name Jackson?
Because we used to call him
because he used to dance in school, and then he was going. That's because he was dancing Jackson. They gave him the name Jackson at school, at the university.
But the basic thing is about the spirit.
Correct.
I mean, we've been just talking about security and peace in Osun State, and here you bring him along, and he's dancing, and he's so optimistic, he's so alive, he's so enthusiastic. I think that's the spirit, the color of politics in Nigeria, and I hope that everybody involved in that process, as I was saying earlier,
fantastic,
who conduct themselves in the spirit of, that kind of enthusiasm and good sportsmanship.
All right, I just wanted to ginger our viewers because obviously it can't be doom and gloom. Good dance moves there by Governor Ademola Adeleke. Now, Rufai, to a bombshell revelation from Adeniyi Adeyemi, the Director General of the so-called Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, who declared on live television on Monday that he borrowed 400 million naira, allegedly paid to secure his appointment letter for the job. Let's take a look.
I borrowed this money to pay for this appointment. In fact, those I can tell you, they will also written to EFCC asking me to refund their money. So I'm not even here to pay the money back. I borrowed this money. They should let us face the fact and document. This scenario is very, very unfortunate. That the way some actors in the government are taking up this matter is unfortunate and is embarrassing. Honestly, imagine the government claiming that a one man called me a corner seat, maneuver the whole system. Now it's unfortunate.
All right, Rufai, many online have expressed shock that he essentially admitted to bribery on live television, while others say he's playing offensive by taking control of his story by going straight to the media. I mean, we did hear that he spoke to VDM as well. I mean, we saw that story trending. And I saw another video of VDM saying, I don't believe this man at all. After I've asked him some questions, he even exonerated Femi Gbajabiamila in that clip as well. But look at this man, admitting on live television that he, paid for a letter. How is that possible?
Yeah, he admitted I paid for a letter, but that's not the only thing he also said in that interview. He said a lot of things in that interview. He asked salient questions. What happened to Tani Mola? Why is it that the hotel where Tani Mola was killed was demolished afterwards and was leveled? Where's the investigative report? Where's his dead body? Can we ascertain the cause of the accident? Can we investigate a little bit further? Because this was also the intermediary. He also asked that, and he also did say that for every authorization he got, he would just call Tani Mola and they will make approvals for him to be able to go wherever he wanted to go. That's where he went to the EFCC office. How come that the EFCC was ready to give him an office based on what he said that he was supposed to pay 300 million for once the institution kicked off? How come he got passes? How come he was able to get that office complex? These are the questions we've not answered. And that's why we are calling for an independent investigation into this matter. At first, you see, for us to unravel all of this, we must know the remote cause of Tani Mola's death. We must know what transpired. As he said, that why is it that a place where he died, the place was leveled? Can we, wherever Tani Mola's death body is, can it be exhumed? Can there be forensic reports and investigations? Can we know the remote and attended cause of his death? Then can we not press the investigation further, how all of these loopholes happened? Then he also talked about that he got. He said that even they said that they were going to perfect the letter when the money was fully paid. So he admitted, yes, to bribery on live television and all of that. But Tani Mola has the rhythm for us to be able to know where these monies and all of this has gone. But I think to a large extent, for integrity, you must have independent investigation. And I don't think that the ICPC will do a fair job as regards independent investigation. He just asked a lot more questions in us. But Orgy, Nigerian cruise.
Nigerian cruise.
We
demand an independent investigation. The president has already called for one. But, you know, I was just wondering, I thought that this man was already facing a legal suit by Femi Gbajabiamila to retract his statements or face, I believe 10 billion naira, which they say that is going to go into a foundation. But we told you that we'll be reading your comments. And I'll take this comment from Noah on Adeleke, saying, fake agency update, 400 million naira borrowed to secure an appointment. More truth will unveil itself, but trust the system. Voices will be stifled. Firstly, an appointment was given. Secondly, he actually paid for the appointment. No, please, someone is hiding something from the public. Can everyone, officers involved in this, be thoroughly investigated without fear or favor? This is just one amongst many. Hashtag. Well, thank you very much to our viewers for the comments. We're going to continue reading the comments on Adeleke, and we're going to continue on this story. I'm sure that the story will unfold after the president's investigation, but at this point, it is quite alarming that someone can go on live television to admit to bribery.